Hi everybody, I'm Matthew Dixon and welcome to Traders Report for 3.0 TV. So I'm here not just to give you the latest news in the markets, but I'm trying to give some pointers as to how to trade profitably as well. So let's just take a quick look at Litecoin here. We can see that I've basically got daily candles here, daily candlesticks. We're going back about 18 months. So I've got 18 months worth of data. And I've set the RSI here with a vertical dashed green line showing every time RSI became oversold. And with Litecoin, every time it became oversold, I've placed a red arrow point at the entry point on the price. We can see, for example, if I move this green line away, we can see that the entry is round about there. Same with every one of these here. So you can actually see it's a very powerful indicator here for Litecoin that when we get oversold RSI, we could potentially buy anywhere around this sort of area and hold for a time. I mean, if we just show the potential profit just on that one alone, even if we entered up here and exit the first peak, not even the second peak, that's 65% return. So from here to here, I'm not actually looking at peaks. I'm looking at an entry signal, and then we can actually use other indicators for the entry signal. We can look at divergence, we can look at MACD. There's a number of different indicators we could use, but this is the primary indicator I would use here, is the oversold RSI. Then I'd look for a more tuned, more focused entry signal, like, for example, divergence, or maybe even a candlestick formation to show me exactly where to enter and also where to exit. So as I say, this entry exit here would have netted you 65% net profit there, which not to be sniffed at. I mean, other ones are even greater, much greater in terms of profit. I just look at the next one. Again, just put the measuring tool on there. So let's put entry somewhere around here to somewhere up here. We're looking there at 130% return on, and this one again is probably 70 or 80% return here. And 130, 140% for this one. So massive returns. This is long term, looking over 18 months, only 4 entry signals. Interestingly, there's no entry signal at the moment, but 4 entry signals would have netted you on average probably about 100% return on each entry point there. So all these people who are so changeable in terms of saying the market's, the market's bearish or bullish or whatever, here's a very, very simple signal you can use and net some amazing returns. So if you've done those over the past, it's just over a year actually, just over a year, you've had 4 signals there, 100% each. That's 400% in a year. Obviously, you wouldn't put all your assets or all your trade into one basket, or, not all your eggs in one basket, but 400%, even if it was a fraction of your portfolio, amazing returns to be had there. So that's just a little snippet on Litecoin, how you could have potentially traded that. I'm going to jump over. Well, actually, I think I'll jump next to the FedWatch tool, because this is actually showing us what's happening in the market. We had a big sell-off in the markets, and that's when interest rates were looking like they were going to actually stay on hold at the December 10th meeting. That has really moved around now, and there's only a 15% chance of a hold, and there's about an 85% chance that we're going to get a cut. Obviously, markets like to see a potential cut. It means easier monetary policy, more money available to flow into risk assets. The cost of servicing debt, all sorts of things are much, much less. And so it means there is more money flowing around in the economy to invest into the likes of Bitcoin. And that's why we've seen the good rebound on Bitcoin. Now, if this continues towards the December 10 meeting, there'll be no surprises. That's before when it was around 50%, there's potentially going to be a big swing on the interest rate decision. But if this continues around 85% plus chance of a cut, then the actual decision won't be any surprise, so that it won't actually spur the markets further. So this would then be potentially a buy the rumor, sell the news event. So let's just watch these expectations carefully as we approach the December 10 rate cut meeting. As I said, over the next 12 months now, we actually have 4 potential cuts that are factored in or priced in at the moment. Obviously, that can change. They're going to be very data dependent, in their decision making. So let's just see what happens over the coming year. But for now, I think it's pretty confident we're going to get a rate cut, but it will depend, of course, on inflation figures and jobs figures coming out before that rate decision day. So let's move over now. We'll take a look at the big one, Bitcoin. So here's Bitcoin. I'd actually like to move over to the weekly, I think, for Bitcoin. And I'll have to open this out a little bit for you to see. I wanted to open it out because I wanted to look at the final cycle, I believe, that we're actually in the final cycle. I could go further out and show you that we're basically in the final. That was wave 3, the large wave 3. This was a large wave 4. So you can see we're going back a long way now to mid-2023. Mid-2022 we're going back to. And we can see that was the peak in wave 3. Then we had some kind of move down in wave 4. And then I think we're moving up in a final cycle wave 5 here. And that itself will be broken into 5 waves in red here. 1, 2, 3. And that 3 itself is broken into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then wave 4. Wave 4 tends to move to the wave 4 of lesser degree, and that's about what it did here. You can see almost precisely. So I'm quite happy with that. We also got some very nice hidden bullish divergence here. This is where we have basically lower lows in RSI and the corresponding high lows in price. And we've also got a really nice green candlestick. Obviously, we've got a little bit to wait till the end of the month, only a few days now to the end of the month. If this green candlestick stays in place or even gets bigger, then that's going to be a really nice signal that this bullish divergence here is being confirmed with a bullish candlestick formation. So we could then expect, and I've actually long expected, a rally into Christmas. Not that the festive season has any particular significance apart from markets do tend to rise towards Christmas. We often get what's called the Christmas rally. And that may well be the case again this year, where we get a rally to new all-time highs for Bitcoin. And of course, the rest should follow suit. So, Ethereum now. Take a quick look again. You can see just about there with amongst all this paraphernalia, we've got a wave 4 down here, and I'm expecting a push up wave 5 to new all-time high once again for Ethereum. So I'll go back to a shorter time frame, maybe daily, just to show you this choppy ABC movement down in wave 4. It's not impulsive. There's lots of overlap there, where basically this movement down here was overlapped by this movement up here. So I don't think it's impulsive. I'm quite confident this is an ABC correction down. I'll just open it out a little bit more for you to see. I mean, this goes back quite some time now. We had a wave 1, we had push down wave 2, bit of a choppy wave 2. Then we got the Petra upgrade, which was a really positive thing for Ethereum. Made transaction fees much less. The throughput was quicker and everything. So we had that big push up from the Petra upgrade. That was a wave 3 within this larger wave 1, then a 4 and a 5. Then we got a wave 2 down. I think we've had a wave 3 up, which itself clearly is broken into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then this choppy movement down. Again, the wave 4 is roughly, it's overshot slightly, but roughly into territory of this previous wave 4 here of lesser degree. So I think that we should push up probably higher now. This could even potentially be wave 1 here, and then wave 1, then a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for wave 3. So wave 1, 2, 3. This is a wave 4 and a push up in wave 5. So again, I would expect the wave 5 to go to new all-time highs for Ethereum. XRP, it's taken a nice little bit of a push higher once again following this corrective move down. This one is actually one that gives me more confidence than most other tokens in the market, because I do believe this wave B here, I do believe this was a triangle. A triangle cannot be in a wave 2 position. So it's either wave 4, and it's too early for wave 4. So it has to be a wave B. That gives me confidence. This is A, triangle wave B, terminal thrust wave C to give us the end of wave 4. Now we're pushing up wave 1, corrective wave 2. We're going to push up in wave 3. So I think XRP is also going to push to new all-time highs. And as I say, it's the one that gives me most confidence, because a triangle actually gives you a lot of clues as to where you are within a wave count, because there are only certain places, as I say, triangles can only occur really in a wave 4, basically a wave 4 position or a wave B position, as we've got here. So that's quite conclusive as far as I'm concerned. I think we've got a very nice push up here. We've also got, haven't shown it, but basically we've got some bullish divergence here. So we've got lower lows on price and we've got high lows in RSI. That told me there's bullish divergence right here. So I can just extend that line here. And if we looked at that actually comes from higher up here, if we look at divergences. So we've got a beautiful divergence there, and just look at the reaction from it. Beautiful green candles there to the upside. So maybe we've got a 1, 2, 3 push, messing around with wave 4, perhaps over the weekend before another push higher. Solana has begun to wake up again at long last. And once again with Solana, yet again, we see this beautiful hidden bullish divergence in this case, where we've got higher lows on price and lower lows on RSI. Coming from oversold RSI, remember that was a signal we used with Litecoin for potential buy signal. So this was a good potential buy. So we've got 3 things really. We've got oversold RSI, we've got hidden bullish divergence, and we've got a nice candlestick formation, bullish candlestick formation. So I'm reasonably confident once again, maybe we had 3 down, possibly a triangle here for wave B. So that'd be A, B, and C. The C is in 5 waves, possibly even ending diagonal wave C here by the look of it, and then pushing higher nicely. So again, I'm expecting Solana to push much, much higher. Whether it makes new all-time highs, it's quite possible. I think we're going to get right up there anyway. So from these sort of levels, you know, I was saying we need to be dollar cost averaging. We need to be buying. I've been bullish. When a lot of people have been turning bearish, I've remained bullish and just said these are just buying opportunities in the market. The same goes pretty much across the board. I think my time's almost done for today, but thankfully we are seeing dollar index moving down. So this may possibly be a 3-3. It could even be a WXY move here for DXY. That would be positive because it's corrective. So corrective higher. So we could actually push down below this long-held support, which actually held from the financial crash of 2008, 2009, around that time when Bitcoin was born. Now we've had this uptrend in dollar, which has continued. But if this is indeed corrective, as it certainly looks to me, then we could push down below that. If we break support, then dollar could be going much lower. And that could potentially be quite good for risk assets and could give us the impetus for that push I'm talking about with risk assets, cryptocurrency, S&P 500, stock markets, etc., etc. Yeah, so I think that's pretty much it for today. I was just looking briefly at Japanese yen, but we'll leave that for the next show. So thank you so much for listening. Hope it was helpful. Yeah, and look forward to catching up very soon. Bye for now.